Hi guys, last video of the year I just wanted to do a few more example problems with you for sine, cosine, and tangent, just in case you needed a few more examples before you jump on and take the very last quiz for the year. I did open that up as of this morning. You have until next Wednesday, June 3rd to complete that. If you have any issues, please reach out to me. I will also post this worksheet on the Chapter 7 module as well, just in case you need it. So remember, for all of these, we're using SOHCAHTOA. So for this first problem, we're going to look at angle A up here. So the sine is going to be opposite over hypotenuse. So that'll be 24 over 25. We can leave that right like that. It does not reduce. For the cosine, it's adjacent over hypotenuse. And for tangent, it's going to be opposite over adjacent. So 24 over 7. So hopefully you're feeling pretty good about those. For B, because we are down here now looking at this angle, sine is opposite, so that's over here, over hypotenuse. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. And tangent is opposite over adjacent. So that's how those would look for that first triangle. Okay, so I went ahead and filled out these answers as well for A and B within this triangle. I basically just wanted to make sure you understand that the sine of angle A is going to be different than the sine of angle B because you're doing each of those with respect to that particular angle. So like for angle A, the side opposite that is 24, whereas for angle B, the side opposite that is 7. So just be careful with those. For these next few, you literally are just typing these into your calculator. Again, make sure that the mode for your calculator is in degrees so that you get your correct answers. So for instance, if you're doing the sine of 63, you just hit sine 63, close your parenthesis, you're rounding to 4 decimal places, so that would be 0.8910. Cosine is the next one, so the cosine of 24 degrees would be 0.9135. We're rounding to 4 decimal places. Next, we could take a look at tangent of 86, and that would be 14.300. We're going to round that up to a 7. 14.3007, and then finally, tangent of 42 ends up being 0.9004. Everybody seemed pretty good with those on the last assignment that you guys did for me. Okay, this last set down here is where some of you had a few issues on the last one, so I just wanted to take a minute and go over some of those for you. I'll do a few of those as well. So it tells you specifically here which trig function to use. So here we're using tangent. So tangent, remember, is opposite over adjacent. Okay, so we're doing the tangent of 41 degrees, and it equals the opposite side, which is 12, over the adjacent side, which is x. So here we're going to multiply everything through by x and then divide by the tangent of 41. So these two things kind of end up switching places on us. I'm not going to write all of that out because these boxes are small. And then you just go right back to your calculator and you're going to do 12 divided by the tangent of 41. And you get 13.8. With these, we're going to round just to 1 decimal place. For your next one, it's also a tangent. So we're doing tangent of 27 equals opposite over adjacent. This one's easier than the last one, so pay attention to where your x is. Here it's on top. Those are a little easier. When x is on the bottom, you have a little bit more work to do. So here all we have to do is multiply both sides by 15 to clear this 15 in the denominator. So this is going to be x equals 15 times the tangent of 27. When you put that into your calculator, 15 times the tangent of 27, you're going to end up with 7.6. I went ahead and did this last one for you. This last one, question number 9, is similar to 7 because you see you have your variable on the bottom. So when you have your variable on the bottom, you have to multiply by the variable, divide by the tangent. So the tangent ends up on the bottom here. 22 divided by tan of 58 is 13.7. For the next few problems, we're using the sine ratio. And you remember from SOHCAHTOA that sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So that's what we're going to use for these three. So we're doing the sine of 35 degrees. You always want to take the sine of your angle equals opposite, which we're calling E, over the hypotenuse, which is 12. And so for this answer, you can multiply both sides by 12. So you would then have E equals 12 times the sine of 53. When you enter that into your calculator, you have 12 times the sine of 53, which is going to give you 9.6 when you... Oh, I'm sorry. This is supposed to be 35. My mistake. Let me do that again. So it's going to be, 12 times the sine of 35. So that's going to be 6.9 when we round to the nearest tens place. Sorry about that. Here's the next one. Our angle is 39. We're using the sine function. And it is opposite, which is 25, over adjacent, which is n. So this is one of the harder ones where the variable's in the bottom. When the variable's in the bottom, you multiply by the variable, divide by the sine function. So in essence, these two things kind of end up flip-flopping with one another. And then when you have your calculator, you can do 25 divided by the sine of 39. And when you round to the nearest tens place, you get 39.7 as your answer there. 39.7. So I went ahead and did this last one for you. The sine of 48 is the opposite, which is k, over the hypotenuse, which is 21. This is one of the easier ones. It's similar to number 10, where all we have to do is multiply both sides by 21 to get to our answer. And for the last couple here on this last video, we're using cosine. That's what it asks us to do. And cosine, remember from SOHCAHTOA, is adjacent over hypotenuse. So you find your angle, that's where you're always going to start. So we have the cosine of 50 equals the adjacent, which is A, over the hypotenuse, which is 10. So this is a nice easy one. You just have to multiply both sides by 10 to get rid of that fraction. So A equals 10 times the cosine of 50. Pull out your calculator. It's a little bit of a glare there. 10 times the cosine of 50 equals 6.4. We're rounding to one decimal place. So we have A equals 6.4. This next one, we're also still using cosine, so cosine of 42 equals the adjacent side, which is D, over the hypotenuse, which is 7. Another nice straightforward one. You're just multiplying both sides by 7. So you have D equals 7 times the cosine of 42. You plop that right into your calculator and you get D equals 5.2. And here I did your last one. Cosine of 55 equals h over 15. This is the adjacent, this is the hypotenuse. Again, nice and easy. Multiply both sides by 15. Your answer here is 8 plus 8.6. So those are the types of problems that you'll see on your quiz. So as soon as you're ready to take that, it's opened up as of this morning. It's not due until next Wednesday, but I thought you might want to get a jump on that so you can kind of be done with your schoolwork for the year. As soon as you want to take that, it's open and ready for you. And it is multiple choice, so just make sure you have your calculator ready and that your mode is in degrees. If you have any questions or need any help with anything, I am available this week and next week, so you can feel free to reach out to me. And I hope that you guys do well and enjoy your summer. It's been a pleasure having you this year. Take care.